Let us try to understand role of hippocampus in language learning. Hippocampus is a pair of thumb-sized structure deep in the center of human brain, which is very critical to our ability to learn and remember. If we look at this picture, we will be able to see its location. This part is hippocampus. It is found in the inner folds of the bottom middle section of the brain, known as temporal lobe. Hippocampus is a part of limbic system which is associated with functions of feeling and reacting. Main function of hippocampus is that this is the brain area which has a unique capacity to generate new neurons every day, and it can form up to 700 new brain cells every day, though all do not survive. People who exercise regularly and they are keeping themselves fit, they have bigger hippocampus, and it is also associated with the Alzheimer's disease, which is a disease which is characterized by shrinkage of brain because of death of neurons. And hippocampus is also related to developmental language disorders. As far as other functions of hippocampus are concerned, it is helping human beings in processing and retrieving memory, that is declarative memories and spatial relationships. Declarative memories means those memories which are related to facts and events, and spatial relationship memories means those memories which are related to map routes and pathways, etc. Hippocampus is specialized in acquiring and using complex spatial information. Another important function of hippocampus is that the area of the brain that is responsible for language consists of region around the lateral sulcus, which is called as the Sylvian fissure on the left hemisphere, and it includes Broca's area and Wernicke's area. It plays important role in regulating learning, memory encoding, memory consolidation and spatial navigation. And because memory is playing a very important role in language learning, so that is why it is having hippocampus is having very important role in language learning. And it is seen that when someone is learning a new language, then there is significant growth in the hippocampus. That is because this part of the brain is organizing and retrieving memories. So that language learning is a kind of exercise for the brain. The hippocampal complex contributes to language in an active fashion, relating incoming words and storing semantic knowledge, a process by which we form the sentence. So because this process is taking place, because of which the hippocampus complex, it contributes to language learning. Now, how it contributes to language learning? That is called as the propose but verify strategy. Let us try to understand what is this propose but verify strategy. This strategy, it plays a very important role in learning the names of the object. Let us assume that there is a learner who has never been exposed to that language previously, and this is the first time he is learning the nouns or the names of the objects. Or let us assume that a child is learning a new language, a child is learning a native language or a new language. In initial stages, when a learner is learning the meanings of some words in the language, then they depend mainly on the observation which is changing in immediate context. For example, let us assume that the word milk is pronounced, and with that a white color liquid is presented in the environment, or it is given to the child. So the learner observes that what is changing in the environment. So he can see, he might see many different changes, but one of the change will be that the white color liquid is being presented. If in many encounters he see that every time when the white color liquid is presented, the word milk is pronounced, then he will be able to form the association between these two events. But this is also possible that the learner may take a wrong meaning of the word. So that means in the successive encounters, the same meaning will not fit into that environment. For example, maybe the learner has picked up milk for something other which has happened as a change in the environment. Maybe as the milk was being presented, there was some sound which was produced outside. So the learner may mistake milk as related to that sound which has been produced in the environment. But in successive encounters, if this thing doesn't happen, then he will understand that milk is not associated to that sound. So this type of learning, which is proposed but verified in successive encounters, is called as propose but verify strategy. So if it is verified in all situations, then that learning will take place and that meaning will be assigned to that word. So that is how new names of the object, they are learnt by the learner when he is learning a new language. When we as adults encounter a new word, there are often multiple objects that a word might refer to. Nonetheless, because names of concrete nouns are constant, we are able to learn them across successive encounters. So what is important? That there will be successive encounters. If same name is associated with that change in the environment in successive encounters, only then that learning will take place, right? So as an adult, we may be learning quite many new words. We may be learning some words which are associated with actions, maybe some adjectives. But this type of learning is very important when we are learning nouns or names of the object. So this is how hippocampus is helping us in forming these types of learning. This form of cross-situational learning may result from associative mechanism. Cross-situation means that it is happening in many situations. If the same word is being associated with the same change in the environment in many situations, then that learning will take place. And associative mechanism, that means associative mechanism that gradually accumulate evidence for each word object association. That means each word is associated with some object, and how this association takes place or how this linkage takes place, that is called as the associative mechanism. We learn word object mapping when same learning is repeated and there is co-occurrence of words and objects in otherwise non-related situation. This process of forming connections is called as associative learning. Now this is a style of learning that happens when two unrelated elements, for example objects or sights or sounds or ideas or certain behaviors, they get connected in our brain through a process of conditioning. We have learnt about conditioning when we learnt about learning theories, and that video must be also available on the channel, where we discussed how learning takes place, and there are different theories for learning, and very important, very commonly used example is Pavlov classical conditioning and Skinner reward and punishment instrumental conditioning. They are very important for educational implications too. Now when we study about Pavlov classical conditioning, then what is happening there? That one stimulus is being associated with some response. So that kind of association which is taking place, that is called as conditioning, and this is responsible for associative learning or associative mechanism. Another is rapid propose but verify mechanism, where only one hypothesized referent is stored for each word, which is either subsequently verified or rejected. If that word and object association is found to be true in all successive encounters, then it will be verified. But if that word object association is not happening in successive encounters, then it will be rejected. Because this word object association is open to being verified or rejected, that is why it is called as propose but verify, which is the mechanism of hippocampus. Now in adults, we rely on episodic memory to track a limited number of word object association, because we have learned certain things in our previous encounters which become our episodic memory. Episodic memory means that memory which we consciously recall as per our personal experiences and specific events which have happened in past and associated with emotion. So because we have certain memories which are related to episodes which have happened in our previous experiences, so we recall from that memory whether this word object association is correct or not. Each episode results in memories, and we link elements together and make a web of different connections, and these memories, they are stored in our brain, and whenever we are reading some word and we are checking it as per our episodic memory whether this word object association is formed or not. If it is formed, then it is verified, and this process of verifying word object association from our memories is the role of hippocampus. So in other words, what we can say, that hippocampus is helping us in forming the association between words and their meaning based on the memory which is stored from our previous experiences, and if we are learning something new, then it will be learned by propose but verify mechanism. So there are two methods. One, either we verify it by episodic memory, we verify it that what happened in the past, what association we know from our past experiences, is this new word association is linked to that memory. If it is there, then we will associate the word with the object. And if we are learning that word for the first time, for that which we have no episodic memory, then we will learn it by rapid propose but verify mechanism. That means we will learn and form the association, but that window will remain open till it is subsequently verified or rejected. So that is how hippocampus is helping us in forming our language.